Yes.
The match of the day, innit, that there. Did you enjoy match of the day?
I did. It was
I watched
absolutely
it last
brilliant.
night. Set me alarm. Up this morning. Watched it again.
I've never watched it for about 6 months, but I did today.
I'm going to watch it for about 13 years.
Yes.
Oh, you can tell it's getting cold. It's the winter's coming in. This welcome back to Talking Turf, everybody. Thanks very much for joining me. There's my biggest fan in. Peter Tate Jr., you're not massive anymore. Fergie's right. Your fans are shite. Right, listen. Hey, Peter, you should give a ring, mate. Give a ring. We'll get you on the show because you are good crack. And it's banter. I know Martin takes the huff. But ultimately, it's just banter. It's just football. You know,
it's opinions, isn't it? It's not fact. It's just opinions. And that's what we love about it. Like, we want everyone to voice their own opinions because that's what football's about. It. Like, we'll take certain things to heart to a certain extent, but beyond that, it's literally just it's banter. That's what the show's about. It's not about being harsh. It's not about being nasty. It's just about friendly banter, and everyone just want everyone to have a good laugh and come on the show and be nice to each other. Ultimately,
absolutely, mate. You're saying football's class, man. It is. It brings everybody together from all parts of the world, and
different backgrounds.
I tell you what gets my back up, though, it's the day. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. And I tell you what else has got me back up, what we'll start the show on, and I want people to get involved in this, right, is the New England manager. Obviously, nobody was happy with Southgate, me included. Put my hand up. Carsley's come in, hasn't sung the national anthem, didn't go and do another wheel. And then they got an appoint a German to be manager of the England national team. Honestly, I cannot get my head around this. People are saying, but that was a long time ago. There's been a lot of things has happened since then and stuff. And my argument back to them is, because you're massive, Tuchel is, would Germany have an English football manager? Yes or no?
I'm not saying I'm Tuchel in.
Yes or no?
What I'm saying
Germany is have an English football manager.
No, I'm not saying I'm Tuchel in. What I'm saying is we wanted somebody. We all think that we've got the best players in world football. That's what we're saying. We've got the best players. So you want one of the best coaches in world football. Do I think he's one of the best coaches in world football? Yes. Right, so why would PSG hire him? Why would Chelsea hire him? Why would Bayern Munich hire him? And he won trophies with all them clubs, right? So he's been brought in by England to do that. Have I got an issue with being German? Not really from my perspective, because like I said here, I've spoken to you personally, and you know this. We went into Germany in the summer when England was playing there, and you couldn't have been welcomed with open arms more than anything else. It didn't feel like you were intruding. It didn't feel like anything else. I get that there's been a war in the past, but I think football and views and stuff like that, I think Gallen and Peter and Michael Coulson, all them, they'll probably have the same views. I would think you couldn't have felt more welcome from my point of view. So I didn't want to hold it being against a German person taking over the England manager. If there was England people at that caliber to take the job, I think they would have gotten it over him. But there's not. So I think that's why he's been given it.
Right. Let us put it another way for you then, right? There's a couple of people I haven't get on with, right? Believe it or not. I get on with most people, but there is a couple of them. But if they come into my shop to buy carpets, they would be made to feel most welcome. Right?
Yep.
Because you're taking the money. It's exactly the same as here or in Germany. Of course, they're going to make you feel welcome. You're spending money over there in the country. You're contributing to their society. Of course, you're going to be made to feel welcome. They're not going to make you feel shit because they'll want you to come back if it ever comes back again. Look, let's have a look at a couple of comments. Peter Tate saying, I prefer English, but who they're going to put in? Potter, Tuchel is available. It costs them now 6 million just to free up Howe, then another 5 million in wages. Mate, I hate to break it to you, but Eddie Howe wasn't even considered, man. He hadn't even contacted. He thought that he'd given them a wrong digit in his phone number. His phone never rang once. I'm happy with Tuchel, says Dave Armstrong, because he's a winner. I'm happy he's German in charge. Definitely not. But there was no English managers good enough, in my opinion. Right?
I totally agree with Dave.
Right? Good, good opinions. But Tuchel has managed to get all the good jobs. It's a bit like Pep Guardiola, Bayern, Barca, City. Tuchel's the same. He's had PSG, Chelsea, obviously, Bayern, Dortmund.
I disagree. Chelsea won the top team when he took out of them, and he won the Champions
top
League.
6 team, Gary. They've always been the top 6 team.
But he won the Champions League. So you've got to have something.
But I'll tell you what it is, and honestly, I bet you everybody can agree with us. It was the worst team to ever win a Champions League.
Melly, can I stop you there once, though?
Aye, go on.
What sort of football is that?
Same as Southgate.
Tournament.
Same as
So
Southgate.
if he can take a team into the tournament, listen, if he can take a team into the tournament and win tournament football with shit, but from what you're saying, you take a team into tournament football with the best of the best, which we think they are. That's what we think, but English are like mugs, English are idiots, we always overinflate what players, we always think they're better than what they are. If they're as good as what we think they are, and he's as good as we think he is, we should work with tournaments.
Right then, so let's fast forward 18 months, right? We'll win the tournament, we'll win the World Cup. Can you see the headline now? Can you see it?
I couldn't give a fuck what it is. Melly,
can you see
I'll have my pants doing, I'll be a Newbigin prom, and I'll run and jump off the
60
chair.
years since England's last
I
victorious win in the World Cup. Never won anything since, but they've won the World Cup today, and it's all thanks to the German.
Guten Tag! Yeah!
You nutter. It's a no from me, it's a yes from Gary. But I tell you what,
honestly,
over my dead body, I'd give it a Graham Potter tomorrow. I'd give it a Graham Potter tomorrow. He did absolute wonders when he went and learned the football trade. Brought that team from a lower division up in and winning the top division. Came out of England, did well with Brighton, was poached by Chelsea at the time that Bowley got took over and flooded them with players and was expected to do well with a load of players that he had never coached before. Didn't last 6 months. I would have given him the job. I would have said, look, you've got 5 years. We don't expect the next World Cup, but we want to be winning something in the next 5 years. And he would have delivered 100%. As no guarantees Tuchel delivers, mate. He got sacked from PSG, man. He got booted out of the door.
He didn't?
See you later.
Did he not take over from... Did Potter not take over from Tuchel?
Where at?
Chelsea. He took a Champions League winning team and had them in the relegation zone.
Who did?
Potter.
Gary. The man came in and changed the whole lineup, man.
And
he can't do that, man. He even said the other day he was bringing his kids into the changing room at half time and that, but Tuchel, that's what kind of bloke he was dealing with. Nobody can thrive under that. Nobody. My boy, what you say? Unless it's sorted out. Potter was the man for the job for me. Not a German. Definitely not a German. No chance. And answer me question. Would Germany hire an English coach?
Yes.
No, they wouldn't Jordan Anderson, surely he's got to be a positive. Forget about the war. How turned them down, lads? I don't think so, mate. How wasn't even contacted, says Anthony Street. Said it himself in the conference this week. Yo, Tom saying, all right, lads. Hello, Tom, lad.
I bet he wanted it.
Who?
How? I bet he would have watched straight into that, wouldn't he?
He's managing a middle a team that's
championship team.
Aye, of course he would have it. Who would you have, Melly? I've just said, mate, there. You maybe sent that before I said it, but it would be Potter for me, 100 million%. Why is Potter not in the job now, lads? Must be a reason behind it, no? Well, maybe he's just not diving in. He's not like the rest of them, where it's like, money, mate. Like maybe he's weighing up his options, and the next job has to be the right job because he's took a bit of damage off his last outing there. And I don't think he's that type of man, to be honest with you. He comes across really well. For me, he was the perfect candidate. I just can't understand it. But listen, like, there's no guarantee that Tuchel's going to go and win it. I just didn't understand why you would go for a German. I didn't understand it. Look, forget about the war and that, right? Forget about that. Forget about any kind of worry. But an England national team should have an English manager. And now we've had like Ericsson and whatnot in the past and stuff. But it should be an English manager, man. You should be standing there singing your heart out. God save our. You should be coming from here and then in the changing room, but it's not.
Well, Melly, but in the same instance, you'll accept Declan Rice. You'll accept Jack Grealish. Like, where does it stop? We'll take the players, but like, we're taking the coaches, or we're taking the staff. Like, where does it stop? It's got to be like a fine line.
The German gets Raheem
Sterling is Jamaican.
Jack Grealish and Woody Callum, like,
yeah, but like,
might have Irish like family and stuff.
Declan Rice played for Ireland. Declan Rice played for Ireland.
Well, nah, but like, let's have a look. Yeah.
And then you've got Jamaicans like Raheem Sterling scored loads of goals for England. Like, there's got to be a fine line where you either accept it or you don't. Like,
I mean, for me, it's like it's English all the way, mate. There's no like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like,
place of birth. Where was he born? Where was Declan Rice born? Where was Declan Rice born, mate?
Half and half, or you accept it or you didn't. Like,
where was Declan Rice born?
Where
was he born?
He played for Ireland.
Where was he born?
But he played in Ireland.
What's his passport?
I don't care. He played for Ireland. He played for Ireland.
German. He's born Kingston upon Thames in Greater London. And if I can't do the rest of
Owen Hargreaves, one of the best Man United midfielders we had.
Look like Kevin Keegan.
Was born in Germany. He was born in Germany, and he was one of England's best players. Owen Hargreaves. Owen Hargreaves. He was born in Germany.
He was only good when he was on the group, man. He only took penalties. Owen Hargreaves.
Shut up, man.
Good guy give him Man United, man.
Shut up, man. He went to all the World Cups, man. He was our best player.
Right.
He should have won it.
Listen, right.
There's a fine line.
You think it's all right. I didn't think it's all right. Let's move on.
No, it's inclusion. That's what I'm saying. It's inclusion. So you either accept that you're going to have certain people come from different countries. They might have been in this country, but they're coming in. They want to work for us. That's fine. And the same. But like, it's got to be like, you've got to either accept one or the other. You can't just say, oh, no, he's got to be English. Like,
I just said nothing. Nah, English only. This is England. English only. Right. Let's move on, right? Nah, I don't see Germany accepting an English coach taking over their national team, Damien. Definitely not. Walton says, "You all right, lads? You all right, Walton? Jordan Anderson, Harry. How turned them down, lads? He didn't accept an approach. Come with the horse's move that he hadn't even been approached. But you never know. How said he did not want the job ages ago, lads. He likes the day-to-day of club football. That was his words. Potter's still getting Chelsea money, and accepting a new contract will stop them payments. Normally, you get bought out, don't you? Like, it's a compensation package, isn't it?
I did read some of the report that apparently he couldn't take on like another job for a certain month of time or something like. So that might be true, but the how one, like,
definitely not true.
There's no way on God's earth that he wouldn't have accepted the England job for 10 million a year or something. Not a million.
You wouldn't think so. You know, like as a normal human being, it's like it's got to be like the ultimate
job.
Aye, isn't it? It would be for like the majority of England.
Especially looking at that like range of
Still a
players.
bit young though, How isn't he, mate? He's like he'll have plenty of time. He'll probably get a chance at it in the future. Probably in 18 months' time when Tuchel doesn't fucking win the World Cup, to be honest.
The thing is though, but like Eddie Howe's, like even if he's say like late 40s, if he takes that job on, he knows he's got a massive generation of players there. Like if he's sitting in a job for 20 years on 10 million a year, of course he's going to take it. Why wouldn't you? You're an idiot. It's more than Newcastle's ever going to pay him.
I think he's the next manager to get sacked.
Who, Eddie Howe?
I think the owners want bigger and better things. I was saying to Peter in the private chat there before, he was on about it and I hands with it. The truth of the matter is, and I'm from here, but the truth of the matter is, right, when you get these players coming out, right, and they've got a choice of a London club or a Man U, Man City, let's say, because we've still got pulling power, Peter, believe it or not. Like, do they stay in London where everything's gone on, or do they come up to Newcastle? Well, there's no up here. The only thing that would start attracting them is either one, he's a winning stuff, or two, you've got a manager who can pull them in. And I didn't think Eddie Howe's that manager. I just didn't think he's got that pulling power. So that leaves you with, well, the richest club in the world, he says. Yes, you are. But that's going to attract all the players that you didn't want. The ones who are just coming for the money and not for the badge. You've done well so far. The likes of Isaac and, you know, they play, they've bought into it. Bruno's bought into it. But if you start panicking, I just didn't think, like, if Eddie loses good few matches between New and Christmas, the heat's going to be on. And then I think Jose Mourinho is going to be the man that comes in.
Melly, we spoke quite a bit on this. Like, people get like carried away with being the richest club in the world. The richest club in the world's all right, but that's not what the money generation is. The money generation is you've got to be able to back that up with revenue. So all these fans, I think, like, you know, I didn't want to leave St. James's Park. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do that. Like, ultimately, if you want to get bigger and better, you've got to leave St. James's Park because you've got to let the owners build a new stadium, the infrastructure that carries around it, and then they build hotels, they build training grounds, they build everything. Like the Cellar Park and that they built, but that all becomes one, and all the revenue that comes from that infrastructure is into Newcastle United. At the minute, you're playing in a stadium where you pay like £1 a year or something to the council. You don't own the stadium. It's crazy.
I was talking to someone the other day.
The heritage and the fans love it, but you've got to look at the bigger picture. Like, these people will just leave the club if you didn't want that because they want bigger.
Aye.
Do you get it, Melly?
Aye, 100%. I just didn't think these lot do. I was talking to someone the other day who built the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and he was saying that they're jumping over hurdles and stuff at the minute because there's a little bit of hell on, but the town more is probably looking likely for the Toon for a new stadium.
So the one of it.
They're trying to keep it in the city, so to speak. They didn't want to move to Gosforth. They're trying to keep it in the city because it's still one of the only grounds just about you can put them on your left hand where they're in the city, like Sheffield United.
Forest, maybe it's just
Forest there or thereabouts. Aye. So that's where they're at the minute. Matthew Kelly's saying Potter's probably going to replace Ten Hag at Man U. I don't think he's seen the scoreline this weekend. We've won. The heat's off, and he's as cool as ice now, Matthew. Hello, Fairy. How you doing, mate? Pleased that you're on the show, mate. Scooch is saying Alan Shearer is a Geordie. He's probably relating to the England job. I wouldn't let him manage England under 16s. The last time he was a manager, he got his boyhood club sent down into the championship, mate. I wouldn't let him anywhere near England. I'd rather have Tuchel. If Tuchel takes us to the next level and win the Euro or the World Cup, would you be happy? Jordan, no, I will not, mate. The little bit of interest that I had in England is gone, and it'll stay there until the German is out of the England camp. How did Lymouth do today? They got beat yesterday 1-0 off Swollen, and I think it might have been a top of the table clash. Close game, 1-0. It's not very often you get that on a Saturday or Sunday league football. Ashington got beat. Was it 1-0? 1 or 2-0, 50 feet in a row. But obviously, the new manager's come in there. Used to be at Morpeth, and I think he'll just be weighing it all up, will he? And I think there are a couple of strikers short, but the future looks bright for them while he's there, that's for sure. Billy Noble is saying, but you don't have to declare your nationality until 21 in sport, hence Lennox Lewis. Good point, mate. Walton, yesterday. He's only got 18 months. After that, if he's shite, you'll have more managers available. The thing is, Peter, when you're trying to do your badges in England, there's a kid that was on Twitter, X, saying that he's ready to do his UEFA Pro. He's got the money and everything, but they'll just not entertain him because what they do is all these ex-players that come with the clubs, they get first chance. They're saying that it's not corrupt, but definitely not fair. Probably right, to be fair, mate. Ray Dunn is saying, evening, boys. Good evening, Ray. Hope you're well. How Peter Tate's saying, how probably only has this season either get back in Europe or win something, or you might get the boot anyway. I honestly thought it would make sense for him to take it. Aye, got to agree with you, mate. Bring Alex Ferguson back. Alex Ferguson got the proper hoof on. He went and watched Aberdeen this weekend. He had a sky blue tie on. Hey, lad. Aberdeen's not going to give him 2 million a year, are they? How's about 10 years older than me, so 44? Fuck how the bubbles burst. Was Sunderland playing the day?
Either won 1-0.
Did they?
The way to Hull.
Well, that's a cracking result, that.
Well, do you not believe us?
No, I want to have a look at the standings. Top of the league. Played 10, 22 points. Burnley nearest to them on 21. Then Leeds, then Sheffield United, and then West Brom and Blackburn. So far, 6 northern teams, really, apart from West Brom. It'd be mint if we can get 3 of them up for the away days. Won't it? It will. Billy Noble saying he hasn't got the money to buy, which is bullshit, Billy, because you could have bought Gooey and you couldn't attract them. So what's the next one, mate? The money was there for him. You couldn't convince him to come up. Man United must have won, did they? Yeah, fucking bet they did, mate. Brunak and Isak will leave the Toon, I think, mate.
I've heard a lot of people saying like over the weekend that negativity around the Toon. Obviously, a lot of people saying like they battered them for the first sort of half and that there should have been 3 up, or Isak and Gordon's missed easy chances and stuff like that, and that he should have took them off. Like they've come back from injuries, like Isak especially. But the thing is, it's hard for Eddie Howe like to rotate that squad because like what he's got coming off the bench is utter shit. It is utter shit. Like if I'm being honest, so it's hard for him to make
the pitches are shit.
And I know people like want him to make changes, but like who do you bring on? You know, like say Ivan Toney and stuff in the summer, you could have maybe he's getting him for like what 20, 30 million directly with him back to the Toon.
4 goals, isn't he?
He's got goals in him. Now what I mean, players like you tried to throw 70 million at Guay, and then you tried to throw 55 million at Langa. Like surely you could have threw 20 or 30 million. Like, and I just had this profile where you're saying like, oh, what young players that's up and coming, but surely these proven players are better than out. Like, it's all right having that profile saying we're going to do this, but it gets to the stage we've done it. I mean, Ericsson was running the midfield for us at the weekend, and he was lead on the pitch in the Euros. So like life comes back to you faster than Molly.
Aye, does it? If any team triples Bruno's wages like Man United and 400K away, too true. I'll flick through these quickly. Dave Armstrong would swap how for Jose the Mon. You would have to, man. And he is the next Toon manager. I'm telling you now. Get your money on it. New stadium, definitely the way forward. I love St. James's, but give me one like Spurs any day. Unbelievable.
Totally agree.
Sack Howe and go and get the Sunderland manager, says Martin Gallen. Get up, lads, says Johnny B. Hello, mate.
Oh, Johnny.
Gosforth Park will be the multi-complex, probably, mate. Yeah. Spurs says we couldn't build a fence like that. There's a reason the Rubens are in there. Right, aye. Not many points on football fantasy this week, mind. And I, Walton. I'm with you there. I'm not arsed with England, really. Love the club, football, hate the international breaks, pointless friendlies, or the Daft Nations League. Honestly, Peter, there's been a break every month. It's just so depressing. Depressing.
There's another one like mid-November.
Mid-November. Then that's it, isn't it?
It's too much, though, isn't it? Like I was saying in the comments, it's just too much, man.
Right. Let me talk about that in a minute. Remind us on about that in a minute, right? About the player welfare, right? But I will need to flick through these quickly. What we'll do is we'll go into 30, 35, quickly reading through these and talk about what we're going to. We'll hit the ads. We'll come back. We'll go through the scores and we'll predict, right? Just quickly there. Right. Get Michael Carrick for England. What a team. Fuck the Mackhams up the mags. Gordon wants to go to Liverpool. Take Bruno. He should have been first off on Sunday. Gaza B, you see Melly Barnes plays left back when I have been on the ball. I see what you're saying, Gary, about Suns are shite, and you're right. I don't want to get started on them, but we need to make space in the squad. Nobody wants to buy the shite we have, and Howe did not want to let them go. Stalemate. Subs are meant, he says. So I will talking about player welfare now, and we're going on strike and stuff because they're playing too many games, right? Me and he had a good big conversation about this yesterday, and I was talking to someone. I was reading it, I think, and what he was saying was, right, can you remember years ago with the wagon drivers, there was loads of crashes on the road, and the majority of them were coming from wagon drivers, so they brought this company in to say, right, how do we stop it? And what they did was they introduced tachographs, so you could only drive 4.5 hours, then you had to have a 50-minute break, drive for another 4.5 hours, and then that was it. You could extend that a couple of days a week for an extra hour. That's it. 4 days one week, 3 days the other, and that's literally halved the casualties involving trucks, right? Overnight, instantly. Same with footballers, right? They're signing contracts, but when they're signing contracts, that agent is trying to get them the top money, right? So they'll want the top money. And for the top money, you'll have like a choice. You'll have like essential first team player, first team squad, squad rotation, backup, youth, right? Most of them are wanting essential first team player, which basically guarantees you minutes, right? That guarantees you minutes. But then, so then on one hand, they're wanting 300, 200, 150 grand a week. But then on the other hand, they're saying they're going to go on strike because they're playing too much football. So there's an easy way to stop it all. Rotation in the squads. Stop trying to win every single game, every single week, like with the same 11. Rotate the squad. Tell your player, right, I'll tell you what I'll do. Instead of taking 250 grand a week and like tell you renewal after 3 months, because there's a lot of games. Obviously, we've got to pay that money, so we need to get sponsors in. Sky, etc., are going to pay with the most money. So they're putting more games in, so we're able to offer you that contract. But what we'll do is, we'll half it. We'll give you 100 grand a week, and we'll let you play every other week. Maybe you'll miss the Champions League games, or you'll miss something else. What would the players then say?
Do you think that that's why Anthony's not getting on the pitch, because he's on like 200 grand a week as soon as he gets on?
Aye.
Do you think Ten Hag's can? Nah, I'm not putting him on. Or the management's can. You put him on that pitch, and if he gets 200 grand this week, you're gone. Gone. You give him 3 minutes, he's gone.
Aye. It's mental though. Like, did you hear Rodri the other week saying like what could like possibly bring strike action this?
No, I totally agree. But like you said, like the same contract, it's only 90 minutes, isn't it? It's 90 minutes in a game. 180 if you play 2 games. But like you're saying, these are buying players on players on players on players. Like they've got 24-man squads. They should be able to rotate it. Man City can easily rotate that. If you can't rotate the squad enough to play from the Premier League at the weekend and the Champions League at the weekend, then different other competitions. Just say no. I mean, because like that's the top formula, isn't it? Just didn't play them. See, right when I'm playing.
Did you see they're going to interview the players at half time? It's all about money, man. They don't give a shit about the players. They say they do. If they did, they would rotate the squad rotation. It isn't a new thing. Josie came in at Chelsea and did it every week. It was questioned till he started winning trophies. Like, but what I've just said there, Peter, is like, so to get this money for clubs, you know, like the same guy I was talking about, right? About the Toon Stadium, who built Spurs' stadium. He said to us, you know, the gate money means nothing to the clubs. It's a hassle more than out because they've got to police it. They've got to look after the stadium for while all the fans is there. Like, COVID was an absolute dream for them. An absolute dream because they were still getting the same money from the TV, from the sponsors, more because they were able to put them all over the ground where the fans would normally sit. He says it's an absolute chore. The gate means nothing. So they need this money. They need the money of Sky. So they're going to interview at halftime. Amazon, all the sponsors that are coming in, that's where all the money's coming from. So to pay all these big wages, etc., and the running of the club, Spurs only built the stadium because before they give the go-ahead, they signed a contract, he said, with Lakers or something like that. Like some kind, I don't know, it was American football or whatever he was on about.
So this weekend again?
Otherwise, it wasn't getting built. It was like, it wasn't getting built. It was worth like shitloads of money. Do you know what I mean? Just for the streaming and all that. He says it was just like, because it cost 1 point something billion to build. And I went, you know what? I've been there, mint, absolutely class. In Arsenal, very good. And Ali says Arsenal only cost 200 million to build. I was like, unbelievable. You wouldn't think it, would you? But a good point to make, like, all these crybaby footballers making like stupid amounts of money. Just take a reduction in wage and accept that you're going to be rotated every week. Here's the ads. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Thanks very much. If you'd like to advertise with us like these following businesses have done, then get in touch with Melly or Gary. It's only $5 a show, and we're hitting on average, I would say, between 10 and 20,000 people per month. Support us, and we'll help support you. Melly's Carpets and Bed, 63 Station Road in Ashington. Free measures are available daily. You can call 01670 632216 or find us on Facebook. Melly's Carpets and Beds. Laying our reputation, one recommendation at a time. BA Commercials and Northeast Metals Limited, where you can get almost any used car part. The best prices is paid here for scrap vehicles and metals. They have containers to rent short and long term from just £30 per week, as well as plant hire and also commercial buildings for rent. Call during working hours on 07825 405 772. GB Glazing and Joinery Limited, based in Ashington, Northumberland, but covering the whole of the Northeast. CERTAS approved, who specialise in windows, doors, warm roofs, kitchen, conversions, and conservatories. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Services, who specialize in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping, and thermal installation systems. You can email your query to Martin. That's at martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk, or call during working hours on 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high-quality homes for the local community and Northumberland, and whose company values are transparency, trust, and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com or call during working hours on 07985 203 094. Mates Rates Pro Cleaning, professional internal and external cleaning, both residential and commercial. Follow them on all social media platforms or call Nick on 07423 33496 during working hours. And last but not least, most cuts. You can call Lewis on 07519 077787. You can find him on Facebook, and you can also book through the Booksy app. You'll find them down in Newbiggin on Front Street, straight opposite Chisholm Bookmakers. Always look fresh when you get cut off Moz. You think as I be would know how long the adverts was on for, like. I'll just quickly look through these messages. Billy Noble says about the 20 national games a season we seem to have now. And he also said gate money is next to nothing, but research how much money or false money Everton are declaring their new stadium will make per match day. It's an FFP loophole, lads. You got out to say on that point, Gary? I just cut you off there. I was trying to get the ads in before the 32 minutes.
What was that about, sorry, mate?
The players whinging on about.
So I like we both said, obviously they need to manage them, and that's that. I get that, but we both said that all of them want to play every single game. So, like, if I say, "Oh, you're playing the Premier League this week," and then again, right, you've got Champions League this week, right? You're not playing, and then again, well, hold on, like. This is Champions League, then again, you want to play in the Premier League, and again, so how do you manage that? Like, where is it? Like, you want to play all them games, but then the World Cup final comes along, and then you want to play in that.
Aye.
So you either want to play in it or you don't.
Yeah.
It's part and parcel of the game, isn't it? It's like, I get the extra games because it's went from 6 to 8, hasn't it, in the group stages. So that's what's knocking them a little bit, which I get that as well. And then these nation leagues, they're totally unacceptable. Like, didn't need them. That's extra games. So I get them ones, but I don't think it's aimed at the Premier League and the Champions League. I think it's more aimed at like the nationals, if I'm being honest. But it's a little bit of a farce, to be honest, isn't it?
Aye, I don't think the strike will ever have any kind of legs, to be honest with you.
It won't, but it's one of them where, like, if the players start like backing against, like, we're not going to play, I think it'll be the internationals that they don't play. I don't think they'll boycott the Premier League and the Champions League because that's our bread and butter and it's our money.
Aye,
they don't get paid today, the other.
Let's have a look at this. Right, here we go. We'll move on, Gary. We'll move on from the spoiled little brats. Tottenham 4, West Ham 1. West Ham take an early lead, and then it's ones each at half time, and then Spurs come out the second half, dominate. 3 goals. Basuma, Arola, and Sung Min Young seal all 3 points for Spurs. Good win.
Good win. I mean, Spurs had plenty of chances in the first half as well. Like, could have scored one before he did. Vicario pulled off a class save. But the second half, it looked like they got steamrolled, really, didn't they? But West Ham, they're struggling. I think they're in trouble, mate. They are in trouble. Especially they've got Man U coming at them next week, haven't they? So...
they'll probably win that, won't they?
I will try and build their hopes up a little bit. But Spurs are flying, aren't they, really? They just keep going.
Right. They've obviously they lost against Brighton the last time out, but they've got to win the Europa League. They beat us, obviously. They beat Brentford and they beat Coventry in the League Cup. So I mean, they are the in the league.
The scoring though, aren't they?
I think they score. They're entertaining, but they concede. You know what I mean?
I'd rather that, me though.
I would entertaining.
I'd rather watch a game that was 5-4 than win 1 out.
Let's
Every
just
day
give
of the week.
hands up if you got 3 points this weekend.
Yes.
No
Not
attention, please. Next up, Southampton. Southampton 2, Leicester 3. 2-0 to Southampton at half time, and then 3 goals in the last 25 minutes from Leicester. Finished off by Ayew in the 90 plus 8 minute.
Well, it looked like it was, obviously, we watched Match of the Day last night because Man U won, and Ryan Fraser, that used to be at Newcastle, come on, and within 10 minutes of coming on the pitch, he gives a pen away, gets a straight red card, and then Leicester win the game. Like, and he literally pulls Jamie Vardy back like that, like at the back post, and you're like, you've literally come on the pitch and cost you a game. Like, what? It's crazy, isn't it, Molly?
Mental as a professional. That's why you're sitting on the bench. You know, like you're supposed to come on and make a difference, not lost the game for your team. Southampton's going to struggle. Leicester, great win for them. Yeah. So the march on. Next up, St. James's Park. Newcastle United 0. Brighton and Hove Albion, who we know isn't an easy team. We did try to say this in that group chat that I keep going on about. So, like you said before, life comes at you fast, and it certainly has for Newcastle. They're on about they could have been 3-0 up at half time. If Isak isn't scoring, Newcastle are in trouble, mate.
Totally agree. He's an absolute class act, but if he doesn't score or Gordon doesn't score, I don't know where the goals are coming from Newcastle. I obviously thought they would win this game. I'm sure I predicted them to win it. And it was ex-Man United, Danny Welbeck. Them. Apparently in the first half, Newcastle had like nearly 80% possession, but that's the way it is, Premier League football. Like, if you didn't take your chances, you get punished. And you do, ultimately. And apparently,
expected goal, mate, it was 2.
So they had a lot of chances.
21 goal attempts, but only 6 shots on goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a game they could have and should have won, but they didn't.
I would have been about $6.5 grand up, but I wouldn't have. I would have been about $6.5 grand up and now.
Aye. Newcastle haven't got it easy from here. I must say they've got a double fixture against Chelsea. First in the Premier League down at Chelsea, and back up 3 days later at St James's in the AFL Cup. A couple of days later than that, they're at home again, but at Arsenal. And then they've got Forest away, West Ham at home, and end in November with an away trip to Crystal Palace. So not easy fixtures coming up. The heat could be on, Eddie, come the end of November.
Good. I don't think Brighton's an easy win for anyone. Like, no. It's always difficult.
At home, though, you should be.
I thought they would win, but
dominating the game the way they did, you'd think they'd win that.
You would.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the big one. Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. Not an early goal, a first half goal. It
was on the stroke, wasn't it?
The best thing that happened to United because they came out a different animal in the second half. Can I just say that Matthias de Ligt was absolutely outstanding. Never put a foot wrong. Whole game, even when we were under pressure, outstanding. Ugarte came on, did really well. Had that little burst at the end. Really impressed. Xerxes was holding the ball up, giving it away a couple of times. Garnacho was just causing absolute mayhem. I thought little Lissandro slotted into that left back there perfectly. And Evans
Rashford was up and down.
Rashford, aye, absolutely.
Up, down, back, forward, the lot, getting stuck in.
Aye. But even my keeper, though, like he's had a lot of criticism, mate. He's doing all right. You know what I mean? I think it's clicked, Gary. I think it's clicked. So a win for United. Puts United into 11th 1 point off Newcastle, 4 points, 3 points off top 6, which,
It's got to be better, though, Hannah. It's still got to be better.
It's got to be better, but it isn't bad for the season that we're having.
No, but back
Billy
to
Nobles
the
is
game.
golden shit.
Really back to the game. Obviously, first half I thought we started off well the first 10 minutes, and I messaged you, and I was like, "Oh, we'll set up with a back 5," because it was like 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, and then all of a sudden, after we're back at them for the first 10 minutes, we were getting into some good places, and then all of a sudden it changes to the back 4, and Delo comes back, he against the right back, then against the 2 centre backs, and then you got the left back. And I'm looking, and I was like, then all of a sudden Brentford is just like pile driving, like the pressure on them. I'm thinking, why had they changed this? I was like, why had they changed this? I'm set with attacking the bloke next to us. I was like, we're dominating the game at the beginning of the game for once. And it looked like it was the positions that I had set to Millie on the training against. If we set up as a back 5, I was like, we'll win this game comfortably. But then they went back to that 4. And then I'm looking, then Brentford come back to the game. They bossed it, to be fair, for the rest of that first half. I went in to get a beer at half time, and then by the time I'd get my beer, boom, Brentford score. The Ligt went off with a head injury and a fuming, and then they scored, and it was a guy that he should have been tracking, like ultimately.
The passion from De Ligt, though, when they scored.
Aye, he flipped.
Aye.
That's
what you want.
Second half, I thought, coming to the second half, and I thought, what's going to happen here? I was like, the players either fold and let the manager get sacked, or they stand up, be accountable, and win the game, and we come out and absolutely batter them. There was balls going in the box. There was people flying in the back post. It was a really good team performance.
Let's not forget
it was 4 or 5, really.
Brentford are not like knee knockouts. You know what I mean? They're not doing too bad. Sitting in 13th there. A win yesterday would have took them up to 6th. Aye, 7th. So, it's a good result, Gary. We'll take that. We'll march on.
Second
Europe. Fenerbahce. Right, Fulham 1, Aston Villa 3. Fulham take an early lead through Jimenez. Then Rodgers, Watkins, and an own goal from Diop seal the deal for Villa. 3-1. Villa sitting in 4th position in the Premier League on 17 points. Another good season, even though they've got Champions League.
We both said, like, Fulham are a hard team to beat. Like, they look decent at times, but Villa, I thought, when we played Villa, I know it was on the back of the Bayern game, but they didn't look that good. Like, they're right, but like you'd expect to beat them, but obviously they've went and turned Fulham over with that midweek free. They've come back from the international break.
Fresh.
They're fresh. That Rodgers, really good young player. Watkins is a class finisher. There's only an England manager that wouldn't play him. It's a striker, you know what I mean? Or Irish. Is he Irish? So, but Villa's looking strong again, aren't they?
Billy Noble saying they can't start the gaff, and he wants the job. They asked everyone in the summer. Billy, if Man United wanted Eddie Howe, he'd pack his suitcase tomorrow and he'd be there. Just as. Moving on. Ipswich nil. Everton 2.
He's not on a good England job.
Probably. He must be. He can't be on about Man United, the biggest club in the world. Can he? In fact, Liam Harper's sent a message. Hoyland looked like a proper striker as well, coming to feet, turning the player, getting us on the front foot, running in behind. Classmate. Liam was on holiday in Tenerife last week, and he was walking along the promenade, and Johnny Evans was there. I think it was Tenerife anyway. Couldn't believe it. He was fucking buzzing. So would I be, to be fair, because he's been mint Evans. Like, he's a proper, good bloke. And Ali and I, every time we're waiting outside, I have with the band for the signatures, he always stops every single time I've seen him stop. No, your shite club, says Billy. Give her one, mate. Ipswich nil, Everton 2. Good win for Everton. Find a little bit of form lately there. They have won, obviously, Ipswich. They drew with Newcastle. They beat Crystal Palace, and they drew against Leicester. So they've got 8 points out of the last 12. It's good, Gan, that, considering where they were.
Good.
So,
and if you think of the 2-0 that were up and then lost 3-2,
lost
right?
3-2, right? Yeah.
Like,
They're a Premier League club, aren't they? The kind of club that you want to be staying up. You know what I mean?
they shouldn't be doing that.
Newcastle fans don't like them, but
they shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, they're the better side of
When you look at the rest, they're the
it.
best of the rest, at least.
Aye.
I saw good result again for Everton. I mean, really good. I'm pleased that I don't want to see teams like Everton can't do. I'd rather like Palace or
the ones from right doing Southampton, Ipswich,
Brighton.
Can't be arsed with them.
Bournemouth.
Jesus.
Nice place in the world, but just don't want to trouble.
Moving on, Gary, quickly. Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 0. That was helped by the fact that Saliba got sent off in the first half after just 30 minutes. Second half, Christie scores, and then a penalty from young Clivert makes it 2-0. Good win for Bournemouth. Not an easy ground to get into. So it was always going to be hard. I fancied Arsenal to win that, but as did a lot of people in last man standing, should I say. But it wasn't meant to be. Bournemouth come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, young centre-back, isn't it? Like, it's Harry getting all this praise, saying he's one of the best centre-backs in the world football, blah, 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 blah. Like, but that kid turns him, and then it's that decision-making, isn't it? Like, he's pulled him down, like, just let him go, like, keep our chance to make that save before you do that. Like, it's crazy for me. Like, you either try and get back or you let the keeper deal with it. You can't pull them down. You've basically sent your team down to the defeat, haven't you? 30 minutes in, and that's it. You're doing it.
Absolutely. Because it was that. It was no other explanation apart from that. So happy that Arsenal lost, to be honest with you. But moving on to the day, what I thought was going to be an absolutely great weekend, me and he disagreed with us again, and a nah fine wheel, right? My boy, what you say, it's because you remained in last man standing.
No, you're just saying that because I did stay in last man standing.
No, ye and the rest of them, all were getting on my back because if that goal is given against you, right? Any other time, and you haven't got any kind of like commitment towards the result, whereas you stay in a competition, that is an absolute disgrace. Wolves won, Man City 2. Wolves take the lead. Gvardiol equalises for City. Wolves held tight all the second half, defended with their little lives. They brought all the big boys on, Foden, Grealish, and then the ex-Wolves player Nunes, and then a goal from a corner. So, for me, right, and for everybody else who I would say didn't have any kind of tie to the last man standing competition, right? You've got little dickhead standing at the keeper, right? Standing at the keeper. He takes the cross, right? The ball leaves his foot. He's still standing in front of the keeper. He's got to push him out the way, right? Pushes him out the way. So that's that when he ducks, he can't like this.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He has.
He doesn't, man.
100,000,000% he has. I'm going to get it up.
The keeper didn't, because we'll get kicked off.
No. Oh, but will I?
We'll get kicked, didn't.
No, I'm not going to show it. I'm going to show a picture. Will that be all right?
Nah, we'll get kicked off.
But anyway, he's standing in front of the keeper. You've all seen it. And so he's had to push him out the way. Let's take him out the equation, and he's just standing normal. That keeper can easily just come and catch that. It's inside his 6-yard box, man.
He did in there. He wasn't going to catch it anyway.
But he could.
He couldn't.
So the fact if he was or he wasn't, he could. And that little shit standing in front of him, it's definitely. Do you know? The referee actually give it as offside. Do you know that? But the VAR, Stuart Atwell, got in his ear and said, nah, he's not in the eyesight of the goalkeeper. You need to come and review it. He'd give a free kick, mate. He'd give a free kick to Wolves. So he went to review it, right? And he didn't show him.
So he thought he had made a mistake?
He didn't know. He didn't show him the part where he pushed them away. He just showed him where he was ducked with the way of the keeper's eyesight. That's all he showed him. It's corruption of the highest order. It is corruption, and they should not have getting 3 points.
It's not.
100%.
It's not because he looks at the vision when he hits the ball. Bernardo Silva's out of the picture.
Yes, but he wasn't out of the picture 2 seconds before that. He was.
But he is at that point.
What?
He is at that point when he heads the ball.
Sorry, man, you're not making sense, mate.
I am.
He is standing in front of the goalkeeper. The ball's kicked. That means the ball's in play, and he's still standing in front of the goalkeeper.
Phase one.
Yes.
That's phase one.
He's involved in the game. He's involved in the play. He's involved in that play leading up to the goal.
Phase one. But
right?
phase two is when he heads the ball.
Right.
So phase two, when he heads the ball, he's not.
No.
No, it is. Honestly, Nelly,
he's not interfering with the keeper in phase two. You're right. He's not interfering with the keeper. But what I'm trying to say to you is, and this is why the referee gave it, was because if he's not there, that ball, it's not going out of the penalty area, so he's not going to come and try and claim it there. The ball is literally in his 6-yard box. That's where you tell keepers, especially professional keepers, to come and claim the ball. He couldn't claim the ball because he had a little rat in front of him making a mess.
He wasn't going to claim that.
It doesn't matter if he was or he wasn't. You cannot say he was or he wasn't, but he could have. So he's interfering with the game.
I think it was because of the phase two. But when it went to phase two, he was out the way. I get what you're saying, but
honestly, mate, it is like, and any other, if he'd picked bloody Man United this weekend, you had nothing riding on it, you'd be saying it's a fucking joke. He's offside and he's interfering. What Amy saying? Hello, Amy. Any other team is offside. Nathan Brown, definitely offside. Silva nudges the Wolves keeper also. Obstruction of the goalkeeper. Of course it is. Of course it is. So if it isn't, why didn't VAR show them the whole build-up? He literally showed them the clip when he's out the way like this and the keeper's there and the ball's getting headed. Why didn't he show before that 2 seconds literally where the keeper's had to push him to get out of his way so he can focus on the corner? Why didn't you show him that? Because it would have stood. It would have stood.
You can't tell me that I keeper kind of pushed Bernardo Silva out his way.
Listen to this. This is perfect. The keeper couldn't set himself. He was still off balance from the nudge.
Shut up, man.
Of course he is.
Manny, that's like Melbourne pushing me.
If you're a goalkeeper, right? If you're a goalkeeper and there's nobody around you, you're getting ready, and he has the corner. He couldn't focus on that because he had the little rat standing in front of him going. So he's had to move him.
He couldn't move him. He couldn't move him.
Gary, he did it on every corner. Watch the game back. He did it on every corner.
You can't tell me that keeper can't move him.
He's a strong little fucker. There's a reason he's one of the best players in the world.
How do you know that? How you had no wrestle with him?
Gary, talking about one of the best. He's got more assists than the majority of players that have ever played, man. He doesn't get knocked off the ball. He's a strong little cunt. Trust us. That is offside. And I'm not bothered what way you look at it. It is. Because he's pissed the ball with the keeper. It is. A lucky, but honestly, the corruption is mental. What Apple needs pulled into the PGM or El Lamone and said, look, you're going to referee Gateshead for the next 6 years because that is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgraceful. And then, so that topped it off. That set us away. And then Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. Curtis Jones.
How did Chelsea throw that away?
Unbelievable, mate. Honestly, like...
How can Chelsea, part of a Liverpool side at Anfield, dominate them that much and not win a game of football?
Mental.
It's unbelievable.
I said Liverpool had a little bit of a harder run this. You know, that win will do them the absolute world of good. I honestly, I just cannot
That
believe it.
penalty come for them, I thought. That penalty come for them at a time when like Chelsea were like battering them, and it just like kind of turned the first half on its head a little bit, I thought. But Chelsea, I mean, they were getting into some really, really good positions. I mean, you can look at all the stats you want, but I mean, Chelsea, they'll look back on that and look at how have we had that much ball, that many shots, with getting the ball in these positions. I mean, Cole Palmer, he was just off the day, wasn't he? On any other day, he's moving balls inside, he's shooting, he's scoring, and everything that he went to hit was just like off. And the same with the striker.
Yes. I don't know how he's done previously in big games, but and I scores penalties normally in big games, but I don't know, mate. Chelsea should have won that in my opinion, but you know it is another win for Liverpool. It sits them now
top of the league, probably.
Premier League. Fuck me, man. Jesus. Unbelievable. Arnie's snot. Lads, what a weekend it turned out to be. Gary's lost his marble, says Nathan Brown. He shouldn't have to move him. He's standing in an obstructed position while being offside. Excellent. Right, so the last game of the weekend is tomorrow night. It's Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace.
Everyone's got out to the bingo. Everyone's got out to the bingo. Aren't they?
All right, let's get the Premier League fixtures up for next weekend. Premier League fixtures. Here we go. Oh, so next Friday it's Leicester City against Nottingham Forest. How do you see that, Gan? Get involved in the comments. Let me know how you see it, Gan.
Oh, see how Friday night? Friday night football?
Yes, Friday night.
Oh, I'm going to say Leicester will win 2-1.
Leicester will win 2-1. I'm going to go for 2-2. Desmond. I think they both can score goals, but they both can concede goals as well. There's no comments come through yet, so if they come through, I'll flick onto them. Man City against Southampton.
Oh, Man City. Oh, that's got to be about 4 or 5-0, I think, for me.
Liam Harper said 3-1 to Forest, by the way. Luton 1. SATC 2.
Is that Sunderland?
Sunderland Athletic Football. Bye. City. Can you not? Is Southampton not a bit of a bogey team for them?
Surely not. You're close to the Spurs level.
Let's have a look at that.
That was Man U, that. That was us. Remember when we had to change the strips? You took the grey ones off and went come back up with the different tops. That was us.
The boom went. We got beat 6-3, didn't we? Unbelievable. Head ahead. Let's see. Nah, not really. Southampton's beat them 2-0 2023. And ones each in 2022. But apart from that, it's normally 4-0, 4-1 to City. I can't see note other than a 3-0 win to City, to be fair. What are you going for?
4-0.
4-0.
Aye.
So is Billy Noble. Luton playing Sunderland Wednesday, lads. Yes, I'm going to go for a Sunderland win as well. 1-0.
1-0. Aye.
1-0.
Yep.
Remember Southampton 3, Fake United 6. Fake United 3. Fake United. There's only one United in United, man. Aston Villa against Bournemouth, Gary.
Oh, Villa 3-1.
I'm going to go 2-1. I didn't think. I mean, Bournemouth's coming off of a win, but Villa's flying, aren't they? Villa got a game through the week.
Yeah, they might have
Champions 2-1 to Bologna. Still going for the Villa win, like 2-1 to Villa. What are you going for? 3-1.
3-1, aye.
Then down in London, Brentford against Ipswich.
Brentford 2-0.
Sorry. Billy Noble saying 3-1 to Villa. Andrew Walton saying 2-1 to Villa. Liam Harper saying 2-0 to Villa. And Lee Fairgreaves also saying 2-0 to Villa. You're saying what, Brentford?
2-0.
2-0. I'm going to go for 3-1. I expected more from Ipswich, like after the first couple of games. I know they got beat off Liverpool, but they give a good account of themselves, didn't they? I just expected them to be a little bit better, but they just didn't seem to be able to pick results up.
Is it were there 2-0 up against Leicester?
And Everton as well.
Did that Delap score again or not? Do you know or not?
Let's have a look.
Because he was at City, wasn't he? He was flying in. I nearly put him in the dream team. But I'm not sure who scored for them at the weekend.
No, I'm lying. 2s each against Villa.
Not the weekend.
2. And then they got beat off West Ham 4-1. Delap scored the 1. And then obviously 2-0 against Everton there.
All right.
So no. But
struggling.
I don't know what they've had 4 points out of the last 18. 4 draws, 2 losses. Scoring goals. Didn't get us wrong. They're scoring goals, but conceding obviously not good. The lads in the comments are saying Billy's gone for 3-1 Ipswich. Walton's gone for 2-0 to Brentford. Liam Harper's gone 2-1 Ipswich. They're due a win. And Lee Fairgreave is going for a 1-1 draw. Up the Villa. Villa are flying, says Callum McLean. They are, mate. They definitely are. Next up, we've got Brighton against Wolves. How do you see that, Gary?
I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Brighton.
Aye?
I think they're just off the back of a away win. Wolves will be licking their wounds a little bit. And didn't really play that well away from home, I don't think. So Wolves are strong. Brighton are strong at home. So I fancy Brighton like 2-1.
I'm going to go for a 1-0 Wolves win. I think they will be sore off that defeat. And I think, obviously, Brighton's doing well, but I don't know. Did you see that Kuna play for Wolves? Mate,
good, isn't he?
Is very, very good. Very good. Like, I cannot see him being there very long. He just...
We were linked with him in the summer again.
What?
He come from Atletico Madrid, him.
He's on a totally different wavelength to the rest of the players, mate.
Very good. But also that Gomez or Silva that plays in the middle. He's an absolute animal. I'm sure he was one of the first players that had 100% stats for like possession, stop and play, and he was one of the first players that got that. And he got booked today, but he was just like. He was everywhere, and I love them kind of players, mate. Like it's what you need in top teams, I think.
Aye, he's Premier League improved either. I suppose like Wolves will rely on that though, won't they? Like a player coming good and getting good money for them. Still, even though they're in the Premier League, you kind of turn doing like 50, 60 million.
It's like Brighton, though, isn't it? It's the same sort of thing. It's like they're them feeder clubs, but obviously they've got really good recruitment, haven't they? So. They're bringing players in that's keeping them afloat.
Yeah. So I've gone 1-0 Wolves. You've gone what? 2-1 Brighton?
Yeah.
2-1 Brighton. Ferry's gone for 2-0 to Brighton. 2-1, says Billy Noble. Brighton beat the Toon with their second string. Yeah, Wolves 1-0. Wolves played well today as well. They did, Walton. Hello, Mel and Gaz. Hello, Army lad. You all right, son?
Army, all right, mate.
And Callum McLean is saying 3-1 to Brighton. Next up, we have ending Saturday's game, Everton against Fulham.
Ooh, Everton, Fulham.
And then Desmond Tutu.
2-2. Is that what you said.
Aye.
Did they?
100%.
2-2.
I
That's
can't
what I
see any
said.
team winning it, but I can see goals.
I can as well.
Aye.
I'm again 2-2 as well.
See what the boys are saying. Fairy's saying nils each. Stalemate. Ooh. I think both defences is capable of letting the goal up to win. Like, definitely. We'll wait on the rest. If they come in, I'll shoot them out, but we'll just move on until they do.
What do you think about this Tuchel guy getting in charge of England?
That's different. Callum's gone for 2-1 Everton. It's fucking mental, man. I can't believe it, honestly. You know, people lying in trenches, like fighting. You would never think that one day, potentially, the next time we win something is thanks to the German. You just couldn't write it. You couldn't write a book. Somebody read a book that said, I can put that in the fire, you idiot. Put it away. Now. Stupid. Always the case. We back our 0.5. It's 0-0. You're right, fairy lad. First game on the Sunday. Chelsea, Stamford Bridge against Newcastle United. How do you see this guy?
Chelsea 5-0.
5-0. I can see a Drummond coming. Like I can see. I think it's going to be 3-0 to Chelsea. Can't see no other. Honestly, be massively disappointed off this. They're traveling away to Panathinaikos through the week though. They've got 3 days break until.
Who, Newcastle in Europe?
No, not Newcastle.
Oh, right, Chelsea.
Chelsea. Aye.
All right.
Oi, Melly Mara, how you doing? I'm all right, JT Toon. I'm sure that's Duncan. I'm sure that's a couple of lads' messages afterwards saying that's me. I'm sure it is. You're all right anyway, mate. I hope you're well. Toon 5-0 says Army. Osula, all 5. Osula, who's that?
That's that young one that they bring on from Sheffield United. They spent 10 million on him, but they didn't play him.
I will not be Isaac. Couldn't hit a barn door him at the minute. 3-0 in Newcastle says Andrew Walton. It is Duncan. All right, mate. Thanks for coming on, pal. What do you think the score will be? Chelsea in the Toon at the weekend.
How are you, Duncan?
Army had deluded. Asula's pants. Aye, good one. 4-0 says Billy Noble. 3-1.
Anyways, for any of the travelling fans back from travelling back from Chelsea on the weekend, it's a dry train from York. Just the heat of
it is. Couldn't believe that.
Couldn't believe it, could we?
Oh.
Tell them.
Saturday night they're playing like.
Tell them what happened.
Couldn't literally just got our train from Manchester. Knee drink on the train. We'll say, no, we'll get to York. We'll run into Sainsbury's and get a couple for the way back. No drink in York. York station is a dry station after 6 o'clock at night. She says, where the hell are? We'll get one on there. Shut. Like this. Right in the house. I do them almost. No. I says, we'll catch you later train next time, Gary. I think that.
Oh.
No chance. Nightmare. Callum's saying 3-1 to Chelsea. I think, what did I go for? 3 now. What did he go for? 5 now.
5 now.
Crystal Palace, Tottenham. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Spurs.
3-0 Spurs.
3-0.
Flying Spurs.
Spurs are flying. West Ham against Manchester United.
I think we're going to turn the corner. I think De Ligt's going to be an absolute beast again. And I think we're going to win 3-0. I think West Ham's just there for the taking at the minute, and we need to just punish them. 3-0 United.
I hope you're right. Honestly, I hope you're right. I'm just going to go for 2-1. I'll be happy getting 2-1s until the next international break. That'll do me, because obviously we're away to Fenerbahce on Thursday, and then you got to fly back. They'll be flying straight back into London, them though. Anyway, will they be going back to Manchester? Not surely not. The lads 3-1 to Spurs, says Billy Noble. 2 each, he reckons, for us. Army reckons 9-0 to West Ham. We ain't beating Chelsea in the league or the cup. We lose both games, in my opinion. It's nice to see it like a Toon fan, isn't it? That tax sense, rather than being tunnel visioned and thinking that like that would everything. Walton reckons it'll be 2 each, Man United. We're both going for wins. You're a bit more convincing than I am. I'll happily take 1 now, to be honest with you, at the minute. So let's just get it done. We'll get a bit of momentum. I think we will get a bit of momentum, then the break will come, and then like it'll just knock up again, like always. Callum's gone for 2-1 to Spurs. Seeing off Sunday is another good big game. Arsenal host Liverpool. How do you see that, Gary?
You know what it is? Here's my thing about the Premier League at the minute. So Liverpool, like, I know they're sitting top of the league, but I don't think they're anywhere, by any way, shape or form, the best team in the league at the minute. They're just not. And I think Arsenal at home will cruise past them. I really do. Liverpool try and sit in and counter them, and Arsenal just have way too much. I think this could be like 2 or 3-0.
Arsenal.
Aye, comfortably. Aye. That's what I think.
I'm gonna go for 3-1 Arsenal. Don't like Arsenal, but I hate Liverpool.
Aye. I just think the way Arsenal play, like they'll blow them away, and they'll not give them the time like what's like Chelsea did. And when they get into their moments, Arsenal, they didn't sort of like give up the way Chelsea did. Like Chelsea would miss space passes on the edge of the box. Arsenal are clinical, so I think they'll destroy them with Saka and Martinelli and that.
Callum's saying here, if Saka is missing, Liverpool win for me. Is he injured? Like, Saka.
I don't know.
Ferry reckons it'll be 2-0 to Arsenal.
Aye, I'll go with that.
Aye. I just hope they beat them. Honestly,
I don't think Arsenal depend just on Saka though, because if Saka's missing, then they've got players that they can bring in. Like for me, like I know Sterling's not as good, but Sterling can come in and like fill that role. And you've got other good players that can come in and fill them roles. Like they've got strength and depth there for me.
So Arsenal are at home on the 22nd against Shakhtar. Liverpool are away on the 23rd at RB Leipzig. And then obviously Liverpool are away again on the Sunday against Arsenal. So it favours Arsenal.
Real Madrid the week after. And then on the way to Real Madrid the week after, or is that not
Liverpool? Liverpool.
Aye.
No. They've got Brighton 3 days later. They've got Brighton again. So they've got Brighton away in the cup, Brighton at home in the league, Leverkusen at home, and then Villa and Southampton. Then they've got Real Madrid on the 27th.
Got a tough
and envious of them, actually, to be honest. That's what the kind of games that you want to be guaranteeing it. Next year, Gary, son. Next year when we win the Europa League. Ferry reckons it will be 2-0. Billy Noble has gone for 2-1.
Liverpool. To Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. Billy's gone for. Yes.
We have that. I don't know when was the last time Arsenal lost at home.
Good one. Good one, Gary. Let's have a look. Couldn't tell you. When was the last time Arsenal lost at home?
Arsenal played Southampton most recently. The score was 3-1 Arsenal.
Doesn't say that.
But it's been a while.
Fine. Oh, there. Aston Villa.
2-1.
Aye.
Aye.
2-0. April the 14th, 2024.
That was a broken record.
I cannot see.
Isn't it, really?
Villa. Says Callum. Aye, you're right, mate. I had to search it, and Navi did. But look, as far as local games gone, Middlesbrough away to Norwich this weekend, and Sunderland are at home to Oxford United. What do you reckon? I think Sunderland will beat Oxford, and I think Norwich will beat Middlesbrough, unfortunately.
Do you? I think Borough will beat Norwich.
Aye. Well, that's a now on 20 minutes. That's us done.
Yes.
Flies over that, doesn't it?
Does.
Yes, lads. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining in. We will be back on. Oh, I'm away on next week. I'm going to take the laptop with us. Lads. So come on, next Sunday.
Aye.
Aye.
Where you at?
Keep an eye out for the time. We'll be on next Sunday. Thanks very much for joining. Unlucky Toon. See you later.
Over and out.